The other day I was having a client who was looking for a Mazda Atenza, and he was torn between a 2200cc diesel or a 2500cc petrol. So as I was sharing the quotes, the 2200cc diesel was arriving at a total landing costs of about 2.4 to around 2.5, and he actually wanted one with sunroof, so the price was really going high. And then for the 2500cc, the prices were coming up to around 2.6, thereabouts. Now that's a territory of like 2.7 million for a Mazda Atenza. Now see, my reasoning was, but you can just top up the 300k or the 400k and go for a CX5. And this got this client thinking. Now, because what I was trying to propose is a CX5, of course, has a higher ground clearance, and of course it's a bigger SUV, or it's a bigger car compared to a Atenza. And also consider this, for someone who is buying an Atenza, whenever they're looking to upgrade, CX5 might be one of their car they would like to upgrade to. Of course, there could be, you know, another fleet of options that they might be considering to upgrade to, but coming from an Atenza to a CX5, of course, that is an upgrade by itself already. So that's why I was telling him, I think you can actually opt and top up the 300k and we get a CX5. So we've already started showing him the CX5 options, and I had already figured out, okay, money was not an issue for this client. It's just that they wanted to start with an Atenza, then later on they'll upgrade to a CX5. And I was like, you can actually start with a CX5 and stop thinking about upgrade for the next 4 years or 3 years or even 5 years, because there are people that stay with cars for even 5 years before they let them go or before they think of another upgrade. So it's still a double win. And now this one was guided by, there's a client that I had, she's called Rose. When Rose came, Rose is a client that we've already imported and delivered a car to. When Rose came the first day to the office, she wanted a Mazda Demio, and this was her first time buying a car. So as we were quoting the Mazda Demios, that time we were going for around 1.4, around 1.4-ish for a low mileage, like a grade 4.5 car. Now, as we were having the discussion, then she was saying that she wants to start with a Demio. Then with time, she's going to upgrade to an Axela. Then she's going to move like that until she gets to her ultimate dream car. But for now, she's good with a Demio. Then as we were talking, of course now within time, you discuss with these clients and then you start to understand, kumbe, it's not even about money. It's just about sometimes even perception. Their perception is, let me start with a Demio for now, then in the next 2 years, I'll upgrade and take an Axela. But then as we are sharing the quotes, for a Demio it was going for around 1.4, let's even say 1.5. And that time, Axelas were going for like, is it 1.8? Yeah, those time Axelas were going for like 1.8. So that's a difference of like 300k, which she has like at her disposal, the 300k. And then the mathematics that I was doing, of course, girl math, was how about you top up the 300k and you go for an Axela, and we forget about upgrades like for the next 3 years or 4 years. And then as she thought about it, she really considered that. And let me tell you, we imported an Axela. The mileage was like 11k kilometer, a grade 4.5. It was a car that was in a very good condition. She was very happy when we were delivering this car to her. And she made a better financial decision, because if she would have gone for a Demio, of course, it's like bado hajamalizana na gari. It's still like, okay, now I have this Demio for now, but then in the next foreseeable future, I'll upgrade to an Axela. But you see, for someone who has the money, why go for a small car when you can just top up something very little and go for a big car? Now, I'll only excuse for someone who is operating on a very tight budget. Maybe the maximum they're able to raise, is like 1.5. So maybe suggesting a car that is more than 1.5 to that client would be a bit maybe not realistic, because they don't have the extra money. But for someone who has the extra money, then it makes sense you just do a top up right now and get a bigger car. because I know the mathematics that most clients will do is naweza zunguka na Demio kidogo, then within 2 years I'll upgrade to an Axela. Now remember, you'll zunguka with the Demio for 2 years, but by the time you're selling it to upgrade to an Axela, the value will have depreciated, so you won't even sell it. If you had bought it for 1.5, let me tell you, you won't sell it for 1.5. You'll sell it for, you can even sell it for like 950k. All I'm trying to say is that the value will have depreciated in the next 2 years. So, and then also the price for the car that you are dreaming of, or the car that you are eyeing, will have gone high. So still it will be like, you know, it's still a stretch. So if the cash is there, if you have like an extra cash in your account and you just want to start with a small car just because, then I think it's high time that we start thinking about it. Because let me tell you something, imagine it's okay to even start with a CX-5 as a first car. It's okay to start with a Harrier as a first car. Me have seen some Harriers. In fact, we sold one na huyo client alieka Lana kwa Harrier. I've even seen Lana kwa Prado. Yeah, I've seen Rana kwa Porsche. So it all depends with where you are at financially. But this is all to say that even if it's your first car and you have the money, especially for the girls, you don't have to start with like the small cars just because it's your first car. Now I understand maybe there could be that fear of acha nianze na kaka dogo ndio nikikagongesha damages zisikue excess. Something that I can tell you for sure, ukiwa umekalana, most likely hata hautagongesha gari. Plus that's where insurance comes in case something happens to you, because you've paid insurance and you've paid a lot of money for insurance, because premium right now for small cars, they're running around for the Demios and all that, it's like 60 something thousand. Yes, that's a lot of money. A premium for something like CX-5, it will be like 170, that's like 200k. A premium for a big car like a Prado, you're talking about 200k, and some premiums even fetch up to 300k depending on the value of the car. So siogope kwanza na gari kubwa. It kind of gives you the peace of mind and inaondoa gari kwa projects zako. Now you're able to focus on other things. It's like gari umemalizana, you're not even thinking about an upgrade or anything. So any money that you're making, you're able to invest it in other places or to use that money to kind of propel other projects that you might be having. So that was my talk of the day. Let me just wish you a good day. Yes. Bye.